Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 20th entry into our series of Kaspersky Unified Monitoring and Analysis. In this particular entry, we're going to start talks about the reports that's available in the Kuma platform. And from this particular platform, you will be able to generate quite a lot of different reports containing data which are generated based on templates. Now, a template specifies a particular query, the data presentation parameters, as well as any other settings. Once you open that up and we launch the generation of an alerts report, reports can then be saved in various formats. They can also be sent automatically by email. Now, to make your life a little bit easier, you can also schedule report generation. So, for example, heavier reports can be generated during off-peak hours to once again help us with conservation of resources, right? So we go ahead and we specify dates, times, etc., and we can go from there. Now, in the generation of a report, we can, for example, in this case, we generate a report based on the past 30 days. We can upload a logo if we want to. We can add for example, a chart widget, so a pie chart widget. You will then need to just make sure to specify the storage and SQL query text. So we can then preview that information and we can save the report template. Additionally, we can also add additional table widgets. For example, you will need to specify the storage and the query text for that. Once we have specified the query text for that particular, let's say, table for argument's sake, we can save the report template. Now, once we have saved it, we've previewed it, we gave it specific names, we can now actually generate that particular report. So to enable reports to be sent by email, you must configure an email server parameter inside of the Kuma settings. So in this regard, we go over to our settings section and from there specify the common information, and at the very bottom you will find the SMTP server settings, right? So after we have done that in particular, we launch the manual report generation again so as to not wait for the particular schedule. So then you can check your email inbox and you should be able to find the information if you have specified the details correctly. All right. Now, in addition to reports, Kuma can send email notifications as well. So this is a little bit different than a report. For example, notifications of new alerts. This can be done using notification rules. Now, notification rules in turn uses notification templates in particular. So we can go ahead and we can create a new notification template, which is based on an existing one, right? So to make it clearer, we'll edit the text in the template itself. So we create a notification rule for new alerts, we specify the recipient, and we link the notification rule to a particular correlation rule, right? So on creation of the notification rule, we go ahead, we specify the credentials, and then we select a correlation rule. So in this case, successful brute force. Now, basically what will happen is when the specified correlation rule is triggered and an alert is generated inside of Kuma, Kuma will automatically send a notification according to that particular configured rule. So in this case, it's not just a necessity to look at the management platform, but you will also receive this instantaneously once it's generated. Kuma also allows you to configure notifications about the status of event sources. So suppose you've connected a source and expect it to produce events at a certain rate. If there are too few events, this may indicate a problem, with the source or a connectivity issue. In such cases, sending an email notification can be very helpful. Now, all of this can be done using a source monitoring policy. So if we create a source monitoring policy that tracks whether the event stream from a source remains above a certain threshold, for example, 100 events per second. Now, with that being said, we specify the count interval, the measurement frequency, lower limit, and evaluation interval. We can also then, similar to reports and notifications, specify the particular recipient. In the policy, you can specify a time pattern that reflects the organization's working hours, and you can also enter specific dates, such as working days that fall on weekends, for example. For more details on source monitoring policy parameters, kindly refer to the Kaspersky help. Let's apply the newly created policy to one of the sources. Our source generates significantly fewer than 100 events per second, which is below the lower limit we specified in the policy. This will trigger a change in the source's status and cause a notification to be sent via email. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you once again for viewing our video series on Kaspersky Unified Monitoring and Analysis Platform, or Kaspersky SIEM. This has been the 20th entry and the final entry in this particular series for the time being. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.